Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Persia from Team Broken's here, and I'm really excited to actually be doing this video. I've been wanting to make Marvel content for a while now, so I figured I would actually do it instead of just thinking about it. After this brief introduction, I will be doing a match analysis from NCR 2015 Grand Finals between EG Justin Wong and Tempo Chris G. If you don't have a few extra minutes, I totally understand. I'll leave a timestamp in the description box below so you can skip straight to the analysis. But if you do have a few extra minutes, then I'd love to tell you more about my upcoming content. As you see on your screen now, this is the logo for my Marvel video series, Marvel Minds. I'm naming it this because I'll be looking to get input from all the great players and masterminds in the community. I really want this content to be informative and help pull more interest to the game through helping people understand the intricacies of high-level play. Sometimes it can be hard to see or appreciate when pitted against the hectic nature of the game. Having opinions, answers, and insight on the game from the players themselves could shed a lot of light on things you might not have known about. You learn something new every day, right? So there was some talk on Twitter not too long ago about Marvel and its current state. There were a lot of opinions and discussions, but one tweet from James Shin really stood out to me. He said, "I feel like if Marvel wants to maintain strong, we need leaders to step up and analyze the play of the gods, and maybe show how to fight them." And I agree with this to a certain extent. I do feel like their play should be analyzed, but not only to fight them, but to fight their characters. Most of the time, character knowledge plays an important role in effectively fighting your opponent. What good does it do to understand how to fight someone, but you can't properly punish your character? So that's why I'm really hoping to provide some quality content and hopefully help the game grow. One more thing before we get started, if you haven't seen the match already and you hate spoilers, I would suggest you watch the full video over on Spooky's channel. I'll leave a link in the description box below. Now, on to the analysis. This match is from NCR 2015 Grand Finals. Now, Justin and Chris have played quite a few times now, and with this being an EVO rematch, I found it really interesting. EVO was a little under a year ago, yet both players have grown and adjusted their styles so much against each other in that short amount of time. With Chris G coming from losers again, you'll notice a few differences about the match this time around. Chris G shows some great movement and pattern changes, but a few games of cushion is a lot of time for Justin to adapt. And of course, Chris G decides to go for a little bit of a roster change too. Now the real question on everyone's mind is, why did Chris G pick Magneto? I had a chance to ask him and he said, "I picked Mag so I could cover the horizontal ground. Obviously my Mag sucks, but it should win that matchup. One block disruptor equals a free astral vision. In our matches, it really comes down to whoever kills the point character." And to add on to Chris's point of covering horizontal ground, you can see a little bit of a pattern change from his Morgan, opting for more air diagonal down soul fists to hit Akuma's hurtbox above Tatsu, and it also puts Storm in an awkward fighting position when followed by shell kicks. Chris is essentially forcing Storm into a corner of the screen where she isn't very effective. That, stacked with Chris's great mobility with Morgan, plus missiles, easily takes out Storm in Game 1. But the real MVP has got to go to Justin's Wolverine, effectively chicken blocking on the incoming and patiently maneuvering around Chris G's obstacles, finds him an open space punishing the backwards air dash from Morgan. Wolverine's slash hits just high enough to catch Morgan's upwards trajectory. Justin doesn't finish the combo, but throughout this set, Wolverine proves to be a nuisance for Chris. Chris manages to make the best of Justin's situation and lands a hit on Wolverine. So far, everything is playing out in Chris's favor. A successful TAC to Doom is pretty much the icing on the cake because it secures the kill on Wolverine with a level 3. Now this leaves Justin's Akuma against Chris G's entire team. Of course, it's never impossible for Justin, but it looks pretty grim at this point. A hard tag into Morgan really seals the deal because after Akuma comes into play, Justin gambles it all on X Factor Super in hopes of punishing Shell Kick. Chris G saves himself with an X Factor of his own to close out the first match. On to the second match, you'll notice Justin trying to occupy a different portion of the screen, which is right above Morgan at about super jump height. It looks like it could be making solid hits more difficult to land, and this eventually leads into an awkward hard tag into Doom. Justin shows some amazing character control after the air-to-air read didn't work out and still maintains some great pressure on Doom, but Chris's defense and consistent throw teching keeps Doom alive long enough to get Morgan safely into the match. Justin tries to waste his time on Astral Vision a little bit by using Typhoon, and even eats missiles so he can call Akuma on recovery, but it didn't really give him any advantage. Here's where things get tricky for Justin because both Storm and Akuma are taking a ton of damage. At this point, he has to find a good time and place to hard tag into Wolvie to keep his team alive. After getting Wolverine into play, there's a change in pace, but Christie does a great job at not falling for the same trap as Game 1 and punishes a slash. Unfortunately for Chris, he drops the TAC follow-up with Mag and leaves Wolvie in prime position to take him down. And an air throw from Justin makes quick work of Mag as Justin activates X-Factor and lands the kill. The kill did cost him X-Factor, but I think it actually cost him the match because Doom manages to escape the incoming mix-up and DHC into Morrigan. But when Wolverine lands the throw punish on Morrigan, that would have been the perfect time he could have used X-Factor, and it could have made a huge difference. Instead, Justin is forced to go for a TAC and lands it, but isn't able to keep the combo going with Storm. That probably would have been the only thing to keep the game in his favor. Christie picks up the hit on Storm and activates X-Factor level 2 to take Storm out. At this point, level 2 Morrigan with missiles make her standing low to shell kick extremely hard to block. Chris easily picks off Wolverine this way, and it's down to Akuma again. Justin tries to block on the incoming, but Morrigan is so fast that the low high opens him up anyways, and Christie goes up 2-0 in the first set. Game 3 starts about the same with Christie backing away at the start, but he finally shows good use of Disruptor Assist after not using it much in the first 2 games. Chris lands a straight air-to-air hit that leads into a crazy confirm that not only brings Storm down to a pixel, but also steals a little bit of meter. Justin tries to fight it out with a Pixel Storm before trying to DHC away, but Morrigan lands in the perfect position to interrupt Storm's super and take her down for good. Wolverine has a tough road ahead as Morrigan enters Astral Vision and pins him down with Soul Fist and missiles pretty easily, but it isn't until Justin attempts to advance forward that Chris sneaks underneath Wolvie and lands the cross under stand low to secure the takedown. For the third straight match, it's all going to be up to Akuma, again. But you know Justin won't go down without a fight, and he still has X-Factor ready. He comes into the match with Uppercut Super, hitting both Doom and Morrigan, but opts for an X-Factor Tatsu to keep Akuma safe. He manages to get a raw launch on Morrigan as she's dashing around the screen, and he gets a meaty hit on incoming Doom to take him down quickly as well. Now with Magneto coming in, Christie anticipates a ground throw and whiffs a standing heavy instead. He's able to confirm into the hit and gets an OTK to reset the bracket. And just like that, we're down to the second set. Christie is still playing very solid and hasn't shown any signs of slowing down. On top of the great confirms and optimal combos, Chris also shows some great spacing with Morrigan. Justin tries to stop the momentum of Morrigan with an Elemental Rage to punish Astral Vision, but still can't quite find an advantage afterwards since Astral Vision is still activated. Justin hard tags into Wolverine and pays for it because Chris takes advantage of this free hit and spins 3 meters. I'm thinking Justin was looking for a stand low to shell kick so he could punish with the hard tag and just committed to it. Regardless, Wolverine still survives with a small chunk of health. When Chris tries to chase a backwards tech roll, Justin calls Tatsu to help him out, but Chris spins the X-Factor to grab Wolverine to avoid having to block any sort of instant overhead mix-ups. Storm has little to no life and dies easily since the low high is still proving to be a problem for Justin. Down to Akuma for the 4th consecutive game, and he actually lands a good throw, but it's only foiled by missiles yet again. He goes ahead and does the super X-Factors into Demon Flip to avoid missiles, only to get grabbed by Morrigan, and Christie sets up a safe Astral Vision. From here on out, it's pretty hard for Akuma to get in, and Christie goes ahead and closes out the 4th straight win in this set. Christie is now taking the lead, and Justin no longer has the cushion of the first set. And here's where you start to see a major shift in play. Justin not only starts playing a much closer match, but his defense also gets much better. He's waiting and finding perfect places to sneak in a Tatsu and apply some pressure, but unlike the first few games, he's not overextending himself to do so. Although he starts taking some heavy hits, he manages to get a successful Ice Storm and has enough meter to DHC into Wolverine. Chris tries to counter the ice with Morrigan's super, but it doesn't quite have enough invincibility, and Justin's finally able to land a hit. A slight fumble doesn't faze Justin as he's still relentless in trying to keep his hands on Chris. Letting Morrigan get away at this point is just not an option. Another meaty hit on Christie's incoming Doom doesn't quite finish the job since Justin couldn't finish the combo, and Doom is able to foot dive and cancel into a DHC. He DHCs into Tempest because Magneto has a greater advantage after Tempest than after Shockwave. Now that he has Magneto in the game, Christie tries to use the rapid fire light kicks, but Justin push blocks Magneto and sends Akuma after him to punish the whiffed kicks. Justin goes for the kill by confirming and spending X Factor. Now that Magneto's down, Christie finally stops pressing buttons on the incoming with Doom and successfully blocks Justin's instant overhead attempts, but he had to spend X Factor to do so. Amazing defense, but against Justin's entire team, it was only a matter of time before Doom got chipped away. So now, finally, Justin is able to put himself on the board and show some signs of life. Justin shows off some great movement with Wolverine, and there's really no way for Doom to even be a threat at this point. It's 1-1 now, and you can really feel the difference in play. Justin is managing to smother Chris into the corner and lands a hit on Morgan. Perhaps he wasn't confident in finishing off Morgan, so he snaps in Magneto. He follows up with a 6 super jump air confirm with Storm to keep Mag from dashing out of the corner, and this leaves Magneto bleeding. Chris tries to fight it out with Magneto, but Storm and Tatsu were just pressuring him too much and eventually took him out. Christie continues to block on the incoming, which helps him gain a little bit of freedom, but Justin still has full control of the position of the fight and knows how to stand his ground. Chris finds an opportunity to DHC into Morgan and can finally reset the neutral and gain some real estate back from Justin. Chris feels like he's getting an advantage, so he begins to force his way in so he can set up a low to shell kick mix-up, but Justin lands the hard tag punish this time. Now that Wolverine is in, Justin knows that Doom just got hit by Tatsu and won't be in play for a few seconds. This is when he rushes Morgan down and lands the air throw and confirms into X Factor so he can take out the problem character with ease. Justin can't confirm off of the cross-up slash on Doom's incoming, but still pressures Chris into X-Factoring in between Wolverine's Jump S and Drill Claw. This match is completely in Justin's favor now. It's only a waiting game at this point. Since Doom has so much work to do against Justin's whole team, and one of his major resources are about to run out, him getting stuck in a full combo really makes this match impossible for Chris to win. Going from winning 4 straight matches to being 1 match away from losing is a huge turn of events for Chris, but also a lot of games for him to try to stay solid with such a strenuous team. Both players continue to dodge and evade for the next few seconds because Justin doesn't need to advance. But Chris does manage to get the kill on Storm, but eventually Doom is taken out shortly after that. So now the score is 2-1 in favor of Justin. Game 4 of the second set, and Justin is 1 game away from winning the tournament. Chris looks a little bit more mobile at the start of this match, but Storm is just patiently waiting for her time to shine. Finding just the right moment to normal jump over a poorly placed Soul Fist, Justin takes advantage of the situation in the best way possible. He knows this combo will not kill Morgan, but he has enough meter to set up Morgan with an Ice Storm. Christie sacrifices Magneto to save Morgan from eating any mix-ups, and ultimately avoids giving Justin what he wants. The TAC reset is stopped by missiles, but that doesn't stop Wolverine from opening up Magneto again. Justin anticipates Chris's block on the incoming this time around because he perfectly punishes the dash from Doom for the super jump confirm and even gets the TAC into Storm. Justin wisely saves his meter and chooses to go for a hard knockdown and takes down Doom with his classic low. Justin gets a little bit too confident here though, as he tries to meaty Morgan on her incoming with some foul wind tricks. But with 4 meters to burn, Christie manages to punish and spin X Factor to take down Storm. Level 3 Morgan is deadly. With or without assist, she as a character can be a threat all on her own. Justin wants to keep Wolverine alive, so he DHCs into Akuma the first chance that he gets. He realizes how unsafe of a choice this was as Morgan is flying through the air, so he burns X Factor to save him. Chris still lands a hit on Akuma and takes him out though. Now it's down to the last 2 characters, and both have X Factor. Taking advantage of his speeds with the last few seconds of X Factor, Justin goes into Berserker Charge to make the last trade work in his favor, and he wins NCR 2015. So what are Justin's thoughts on these 2 sets? He said, "In the first set I was playing way too aggressive, but I also wasn't playing aggressive at the right time. Chris knows how to neutralize offense in the neutral, so in the second set I became more patient. then forced me and Chris to be put in a scramble situation where I feel I can take it to him. Many of the scramble situations in the second set, I came out on top, which helped me secure the win. I find it interesting that Justin actually planned to put himself in a scramble situation when that is usually a place he wouldn't want to be in. It just goes to show that there are many different ways you can think about the game if you're not scared to take the tough road. But huge props to both players for really putting on a great set. And thank you for listening to my analysis. With much trial and error, I'm happy to finally complete this video. Now that I've put this together, I'm sure my future content will be easier to do, and I'm excited to go on this journey. Aside from match analysis, I also want to shine the light on the little things about the game that need some real explaining, because sometimes it comes down to those small things when you need it the most. I also want to offer fun content, giveaways, and way more. I have so many ideas, so this should definitely be interesting. I really do love the game and the community, and it's ultimately up to us to keep the game alive. I'm going to try to do my part, so everyone else should do theirs too. Why would anyone want to support a game if the community doesn't support the game? With that said, thank you for listening, and if you want to watch the full video from NCR, check out the video on Spooky's channel. Peace, guys!